All right, so let's switch gears to the NFL training camp, of course, kicking off this week. And joining us now, we got a guy who played 12 seasons in the NFL. Welcome our special guest, Bryant McKinnie. Bryant, thank you so much for coming on with us to talk a little bit of football.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of
Yeah, nah,
course.
hold on, Samaria. No, because you ain't acknowledged one that he was from New Jersey.
Okay.
All right, and he not a guy, he's the guy from one of the best college football teams of all times, a Super Bowl champion. And we gotta again reference
Hey,
Big Jersey in the building.
you better let
And
him
he's
know.
also our first guest. Come on, Brian. I ain't gonna listen. Black men, we gotta ride together. You feel what I'm saying, bro?
I hear you.
We
I was
being our
going
first
to get
guest
to
ever.
that.
Well, win.
Okay, Bryant, let's just start with NFL first. Who do you feel like is a sleeper this season? What team do you feel like is going to come out and shock the world this year?
I'm not sure. I have teams in my mind that I feel like that'll go far, maybe go to the Super Bowl. Of course, the Ravens, I feel like that is back in New Orleans. They've added a great running back to their repertoire to help Lamar Jackson as well. So I can see the Ravens doing good this season. As far as a sleeper, I'm really not sure. I'm still sleeping on them, I guess.
I can see that.
Let's talk a little bit about champions because you are one, both in the NFL and collegiately, right? So you played on my favorite, again, football team of all time in college, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, the U. Just a phenomenal team that defined culture in the way that the Fab Five and UNLV and Georgetown did in basketball. Just an iconic team with so many superstars that filled that roster. The one thing you guys didn't do, though, was take advantage of NIL. So how do you feel like your team would have benefited from playing in the NIL era? And who would have made the most money on the squad? It's a lot of stars on that team. Who would have got the bag?
All right. Well, I feel like that was a question that we kind of asked us. So we're all in the group chat still, so we all keep in touch. And
That's fire.
my senior year, who would have got the bag? It would have for sure been myself, Ed Reed, Jeremy Shockey, and Philip Buchanan. We were the seniors, so we would have probably got at that time the most money, and we were like the first 4 picks, that year.
And then who do you feel like would have blown the bag first? Who would have been the first one to blow through their cash?
We would have came together. We already was doing like little barbecues. Like, so I lived off campus. Jeremy Shockey was my roommate my senior year. So Ed Reed and those guys, they could cook. Marquise Fitzgerald. We would come over. We had the basketball girls too come over, and we would have like barbecues and stuff at the house. So we would put our stuff together and do stuff as a unit. And that's the difference. I feel like a lot of these guys in our deals, they kind of become individuals and they don't do things we thought as a group. So like we had different hookups, different places, and we would go places as groups and hang out and still hang out outside of the locker room. And I feel like that's what made our rapport, like on and off the field, so much better. If these guys learn to do things together, like use some of their money and do events to bring the team closer, I feel like it would be more beneficial. So we were just naturally doing it. So we'd have some extra money. We'd have probably get tables on South Beach. We'd have been doing a little more.
That's really interesting that you say that because a lot of former players, they wish that they could have capitalized off off of NIL, but then you just mentioned a point of like that camaraderie that maybe we aren't seeing right now across collegiate sports. Do you feel like NIL may be hurting?
I think it does. I think it can hurt some people because some people get so complacent with the money they're getting in college that I don't know if the hunger's still there. So we had guys like Bubba Franks and Edrin James and all those guys would come back and we would see them driving the new Escalades and all that stuff. And then you had myself and Vernon Carey when we had to run our 110s, even though we hated it. You had a guy named Leon Searcy who was a big offensive lineman for us from our school who had just signed like a $50 million contract. So those were things were motivations for us to go to the next level. So some people, it can hurt them, and some people, it motivate them even more.
Yeah, I don't know why you acting like y'all wasn't still getting the bag off the table, but
it's
cool. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. This ain't the Get Indicted podcast. You'll be all right. So I do want to transition to the NFL a little bit. Right now we have a couple of stars, CeeDee Lamb, Trent Williams, who are holding out, right? They're looking for more money. In that locker room, though, when you have guys who hold out, how does it affect team chemistry building in training camp? Do you find that teammates are more supportive of players or the organization in those instances?
They're going to be supportive of the organization because that's who pays them, or that's who they're going to follow, regardless be there or not. What y'all probably don't know is I have the second longest holdout in NFL history as a rookie. I had a 98-day holdout. as a rookie, and I had one more week left, and then I had to go back into the draft the following year because of number 8 pick at the year. That time I got drafted was Dallas Cowboys, and they had Roy Williams, the safety Roy Williams. He got his contract done before me and Ryan Sims. Ryan Sims went number 6 to Kansas City Chiefs. They tried to say he got overpaid. Eventually, Ryan Sims went in, got his deal done, and you know how like teams have not like a preseason game. It's like you practice against other teams during our training camp.
Yeah.
Kansas City just happened to be the
Inter-squad.
team that the Vikings practice against. Then all of a sudden Ryan Sims goes in, and then now I guess I was supposed to be next. And somehow my agent caught them having collusion. Two teams can't come together and try to work out deals to get players in. And my agent found that out, and we sued him. Now it's like, okay, the ball's in my court. So now I said, just pay me a penny more than the man or something. You know what I'm saying? But it finally got worked out because I just had to drop my lawsuit, and then they got me in there. So I had to go through all that just to get in there. So ever since then, when I first stepped foot in there, I know it's business. I had players speak out against me saying, "Oh, he hasn't played it down, and he's arguing over money." But you got to remember, I can go in there and get injured, and then my career is over. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to move on to the next person. So I have to make sure I protect myself. And that's when I first realized it's a business. And I try to explain that to people that you got to protect yourself. And I'm going to tell you this too. Another thing. Teams and fans, they going to ride with the team. So if the team feel like, all right, well, we had enough of you, we're going to part ways, they're fine. But if you decide to leave as a player, oh, they hate you. But it's a business decision. It's a business decision on both sides. Both myself and their company, we're both two separate entities with two businesses. And we have to sometimes make business decisions, for ourselves. And I had to make one at a certain point. I had to make a decision. I didn't want to restructure my contract with the Vikings, and I left, and I ended up winning the Super Bowl with the Ravens. I felt like it was a great business decision for me.
Yeah, like you talked about a little bit Lamar Jackson and then them getting Derrick Henry. I actually live in Nashville now. I cover the Titans. I was just at training camp this morning.
Okay.
How big of a pickup was them getting the king? Like,
I feel like when you're a veteran like that and you go to a new team, you have a clean slate, but you also have things to prove that, hey, even though I'm an older running back, I still want to show you guys that I'm, still a top player and things like that. So he's going to go out there with like a little chip on his shoulder and go out here and prove that he's still a top guy. Because you always feel like that when you leave a team. I felt like that when I left and I came to Baltimore. So, and I can see even when Brett Favre came to the Vikings, he wanted his payback against the Green Bay. You just play at a high level, especially that first year, you get to a new team.
yeah, do you feel like Baltimore has what it takes to get to the Super Bowl this year?
I think so. I think he's gotten to the AFC Championship, and he knows the mistakes he made while he was there. So now it's like correcting those mistakes, going to the next level. So I definitely think they have what it takes. The head coach has been there before, so he should definitely know what it takes, and just like implementing it to his players and letting them know what it takes. But I feel like they're having that experience and losing in the AFC Championship game, because I've lost in the NFC Championship game, and it really hurts because you're one game away. So I think him coming back and then having certain additions is really going to help him out.
Yeah, he should have ran. He should have ran more.
Exactly, but he got away from what got him.
Bruh.
And then it starts
Exactly.
becoming too mental.
Oh.
Like, okay, well, let me throw it. It's like, just play your game. And that's what you did all season. So don't all of a sudden now get there and get uptight. So I want to say, hopefully he got that out of his system. And so when he gets to the Super Bowl next year or this season, he doesn't have those type of, feelings. It's like, play your game. Play what got you there.
Man, he was making me so mad. He was like he wanted to be Peyton Manning all of a sudden. It's like, bruh,
Yeah, he changed his whole game.
run the damn ball. Yeah, like what you doing? Anyway, sorry, that's my complaint. Samari,
No, I was
clearly you
gonna
have another
say
question.
if you got Baltimore on this side, who do you have them playing in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. See, I'm somebody you have to answer like in December. Because it starts like, because you have injuries, you have all these different things that take place where it can make the team, it can make a difference.
I know last year everybody wanted to see Detroit and Baltimore play.
That would have been a hood playoffs.
That doesn't.
A hood Super Bowl. But yeah, I would have liked to see that too, though.
So one of the things that's always interesting to me, and if I could be honest, disappoints me, is the NFLPA, when it's time to renegotiate their contract, always seem to miss the mark. You guys play the most dangerous sport on the land, right, on earth, and I don't understand why there isn't more of a push to get you guys guaranteed contracts. I feel like you guys have given way too much to ownership and just always relinquish things that'll help you grow the game and grow your personal brands and safety playing this dangerous sport. Why do you think the NFLPA hasn't been able to negotiate those guaranteed contracts as of yet?
I really don't know why, because I do feel like they should at least negotiate people able to have like health insurance, afterwards, because a lot of guys come out not the same way as they went in. So they should at least try to cover that. I mean, because right now they cover for like your first 5 years after you retire, but it's like some of these guys are tore up afterwards. You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't know who's really dropping the ball over there, but there's a lot of things that need to be done. Even far as I have a foundation, I do mental health awareness, so I do a couple events. I do one event per year, and I help the NFLPA do a panel so we could discuss things, and that's very important. Guys got to learn how to transition from the game to life after. And then they don't want to speak to their family, who always looked at them as the go-to person. Is like they want to talk to people who are more relatable, who've been through what they've been through. And that was the purpose of me helping them come up with that. So I feel like there's still a lot of work that the NFLPA can do for guys post-career and even during their career to kind of give them a little more of a safety net, because these are like traumatic things that take place. You had a guy have a heart attack on the field, and you have a guy just be one play away from an injury that he can't even work anymore. It's a lot of things that goes into this, and it's a very physical sport. I mean, it's not like basketball. You hurt your pinky and you out for a game. It's like I done played through broken hands, all type of
hold on. That was a shot. That was a shot.
Listen, I got it written down. I was gonna ask that, Bryant. I was gonna say, who did you feel like was more athletic? Football players or basketball players?
That's never been the conversation. That has never been the conversation. Frame the question the appropriate.
Who are the better athletes?
No. What athlete has a better opportunity and chance of transitioning into the other sport? So is it more likely that a football player can transition into and have success in playing basketball, or a basketball player transitioning into the NFL and having success there? Which is more likely?
Yeah, I think I've seen more guys who played basketball transition into football, just because they weren't soft. So it's about being physical. But no, to be honest though, you have like Julius Peppers was the basketball guy who he did both. You had Jimmy Graham. You have more guys who kind of were both, but then they went to football. So, but also I feel like the teams are smaller, so you have a smaller chance of making a team in basketball where there's like 13 people on the team, but in football it's like 53. So I feel like you have a higher percent chance to make it on a football team than a basketball team.
Yeah, it's only been one guy go football to basketball, and of course his Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward, who played for the Knicks for a really long time. But other than that, man, it doesn't really happen like that. But you see hella basketball players become all-world NFL players without ever having played a down of collegiate football. No disrespect to you, brother, but basketball players are just a more fluid athlete.
I think those guys are just tougher guys, and they just really like, I'd rather get on a football court and just grind it out. And just they have a tougher mentality. It's like, okay, I'm a little too physical. I may get fouled out in basketball, so let me just play football where it's a little rougher.
But skill set wise, how does that translate? Because I think that's what Rodney's trying to say. He feels like basketball skills can translate easier, whereas he's trying to say that y'all don't have the skill set.
No, we definitely do. To be able to catch the ball while somebody's attacking you and all, like, and you're basically in offensive lineman colliding every play, going to war, like. Can't nobody even touch y'all.
Bryant.
So it's like y'all are just like dribbling and shooting.
Bryant.
If somebody touches y'all, it's a foul. It's like we have a lot more things that are distracting us. It's like people trying to get in the way, intercept the ball. Like, yeah, it's way more physical. It's way more distraction on the side.
Hey, brother.
Imagine somebody chasing you, you're trying to throw passes, and somebody's like Warren Sapp is chasing you down. Like, that's a lot going on.
I have played basketball with Terrell Owens, right? Like, he's an incredible athlete. On a football field, Terrell Owens looks like a giant. On a basketball court, Terrell Owens looks like Steph Curry. There's a huge difference. So when you talk about y'all have more obstacles to overcome, the sheer height of NBA players, these cats are making layups over 7-footers. That is something that, respectfully, NFL players don't do. Y'all don't have to. Y'all get leverage. It's not necessarily a skill thing. It's a huge, obvious physical element. Sure, technique, love that. But those techniques and those skills are not applicable in basketball. You can't just run up and bang somebody. You can't just be brutally stronger than someone that makes you an elite basketball player.
Well, if you're the low post, you can be like Shaq.
Ain't no more low post players is what I'm saying. Everybody shooting threes now. So what your big ass gonna do? What your big ass gonna do? When your man set a screen, you gotta come guard Ja Morant. Yo, so real quick, we Jersey guys, right?
Yeah.
There was a report that came out recently that said they are trying to move professional sports teams to Camden, New Jersey. Now you're from South Jersey more so than North Jersey. Am I right about that?
Camden is like,
can you imagine
10 minutes away from me where I grew up.
So can you imagine having the Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Flyers in Camden, New Jersey, bruh?
No, why they trying to move them there?
Because Camden has undergone a lot of redevelopment, right? They've changed some things in the landscape of the city. It is a very different city. They police it differently. They had the National Guard come in and kind of reorganize the city from a criminal element. It's a lot safer now. More land, more space, and yeah, that's been the conversation recently. Just trying to get professional sports teams to play in Camden.
I
just had to ask Jersey to Jersey.
I would never thought that in a million years that they were trying to move to Camden. Camden is pretty rough, but. If they policing it good enough, good luck.
Okay, Bryant, before we let you go, we know that you have an event coming up down in Miami. Kind of talk about that for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So I have, like I told you, I do like a mental health awareness panel. So that's like my fundraiser event. And then I have coming up August 3rd at Miami Edison High School, a back to school drive. So we have like kids getting their face painted, school supplies, backpacks, like everything. Food will be out there, a DJ, just entertainment and everything. Partner with our radio station here, 99 Jams, giving out over like 700 book bags and supplies. So I give back to the community through that. Something called Operation Turkey, where we give back 2,000 meals on Thanksgiving Day. And then I do a toy drive. I partner with the radio station here as well, do a toy drive. So those are the things I give back to the community. So, yep, Saturday, August 3rd is my back to school drive. Hey, I went to a great concert last night. Right, two of my friends. I just want to tell you, I feel like y'all should go see it if y'all haven't seen it. It's a great visual, high energy concert. Out of this world concert with Sierra, Busta Rhymes, and Missy Elliott. That's a well put together concert.
Let me ask you a question. Could you tell that Busta Rhymes has an Ozempic body, or did he? What was his?
It's weird because
he is on Ozempic.
I thought and he look like Tracy Morgan now. Okay. It's like Ozempic. He lost weight, but it's like he still has like a gut a little bit though. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, he's definitely slimmed down. Busta's my friend too, though. But by the way,
okay.
When I look at him on stage, I said, "Dad, he does like Tracy Morgan."
And his teeth, because it's the teeth. Really, it's the teeth because he lost weight, but his teeth still the same size. And so now it now. Because you can't Ozzy the teeth. You can't put the Ozzy on the teeth now. Before we get out of here, one last question. Which championship means more to you? A Super Bowl or that NCAA championship 01 Miami Hurricanes?
The reason why I'm going to say college is because the year before we felt like we got ripped off when we were supposed to play Florida State. And I think we were supposed to play Oklahoma and they played Florida State. The only time we cheered for Florida State and they lost. And we had set a goal, like we have to control our own destiny. That was like the theme of going into my senior year, is controlling our own destiny. And we did those workouts, without coaches being there and all the extra work and study and everything for ourselves, because we really were committed to becoming the champions, and it paid off and it worked. So I felt like that meant so much more because, like I said, we knew what it was like to be close. We felt like we deserved it, but we didn't earn it. So we had to make sure we didn't lose any games, and we set out a goal and we made it. So I feel like that one to me was like the most. And that was the first time me becoming like a champion. The Super Bowl was dope too, because that's why you play. Like, everybody like wants to go to the Super Bowl. Everybody plays football to get to the NFL to eventually get to a Super Bowl. So that was great too. But I also felt like I was in at a college bowl game because they have you go do press day. They have you go to all these different events and stuff too. So it reminded me of being back at a bowl game in college.
All right, so Bryant, since we started the reimagining of the Fumble, right? We've been having one topic that is really getting our audience going. So this will let people know what kind of man you are, whether they like you, whether they don't, depending on what side of the aisle you stand on in this particular topic. Bryant, this is high pressure moment for you right now, G. High pressure moment, okay? Are you an Angel Reese guy or a Caitlin Clark guy? We need to know.
I feel like I was exposed to Angel Reese first, so I
Okay.
became more of an Angel Reese guy. When she did this, I think they played against each other like her junior year or something like that, and she ended up winning. So therefore, I mean, she's a champion. So I mean, kind of like was riding with her more, and I feel like she was getting a lot more exposure, like on the sites I look at, the Shade Room and things like that, and they were tracking her. So I ended up following her career more.
Okay.
But then I started hearing about Caitlyn again, going into their last year. So I'm more familiar with injuries.
Got you. Okay, that was well played too. Okay, so you a G. You know how to dance a little bit. Good feet. All offensive linemen got good feet. Well played, sir. Ooh. One last question.
Oh my
God. What? I don't care, because we debate this all the time, right? So, we know Texas, Georgia, California, recruiting hotbeds.
In Florida.
In Florida, excuse me. Can we talk about the Jersey high school football and the talent that permeates our great state? Though small, we are mighty. Go ahead, Brian. You do that thing.
I think it's coming out a lot now because I think the internet helped Jersey out a lot because Jersey has like a lot of small towns in it too, where all the schools aren't big. I have a nephew that plays the league, plays for the Steelers this season, Anthony Avery. There's a lot of guys coming out of Jersey. Eli, what's Eli's last name?
Ooh, not Apple.
Eli Apple. Eli Apple.
It is Apple. I was about to say.
Oh, wait. He's the one. Respectfully, he's the one guy that I don't want to claim. He is ass.
Well,
Hold on now, Brian. Hold on now.
There's a lot of
Hey, he the one. Not him, of all people.
They made it to the league though. It's hard to make it. There's only 1%.
Nah, that's who you got. That's who you got. No, that's it. No, that's it. That's all you got. That's all
Brian,
you got.
come on, man.
Jersey has definitely come up, especially be like a small state, has definitely come up to produce a lot of professional athletes.
All right, man, we got to wrap this up now. You're going to mention Eli Apple. Brian, we appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. Good luck with the toy drive and back to school drive August 3rd going down to Miami. Thank you, my dog. We appreciate you very, very much.